Los Alamos, New Mexico. March 1983. Several police cars are seen escorting an ambulance speeding through the night. Inside the ambulance is a 50-year-old man, handcuffed, severely injured, and groaning in unbearable pain. His skin is disfigured from having poured acid onto himself. He is barely conscious and completely unable to speak. A detective riding along tries to communicate by handing him a pen and notepad. He asks the man if he's involved in a satanic cult or part of any secret group. Before the man can respond, the officer receives a phone call from the front desk. The receptionist explains that a young girl has arrived asking which room the man is being treated in. She claims to be his daughter. The detective is puzzled, but within moments a nurse finds the man has taken his own life. On the notepad, he had written one final message: "I'm sorry, Abby." The story then flashes back to 2 weeks earlier. A 12-year-old boy named Owen is called by his mother to come in for dinner. Owen's home life is far from comforting. His parents are constantly arguing, and they are going through a bitter divorce, and Owen often retreats into silence, hiding from the chaos. One evening, he sneaks into the kitchen, picks up a large kitchen knife, and begins to play act as if he's someone dangerous. He also spends much of his time spying on neighbors from his bedroom window, using a small telescope. One cold winter night, he notices a man carrying a heavy trunk, followed by a barefoot girl walking quietly by his side through the snow. They appear to be moving into the unit next door. At school, Owen is isolated and constantly bullied by a boy named Kenny and his gang, but one day, he laughs when Kenny gets scolded by a teacher for harassing a girl. The retaliation is swift and harsh. Kenny makes Owen's life even more miserable. Feeling abandoned both at school and at home, Owen creates a private world in his mind. He often escapes into his own fantasies, including stabbing at trees with his knife as if they were his enemies. One evening, while outside in the courtyard, the barefoot girl approaches him. She introduces herself as Abby. She's quiet, pale, and strange. She warns Owen not to talk to her and says they can't be friends. Later that night, Owen hears the man Abby lives with, her guardian, leaving their apartment. That night, the guardian enters a local grocery store parking lot. He quietly breaks into a parked car and hides in the back seat, waiting for the owner to return. When the driver finally gets in, the guardian ambushes him, kills him, and collects his blood into a jug. But things don't go as planned. The jug spills and headlights from another car force him to flee the scene before he can clean up the evidence. Back in his apartment, Owen eavesdrops on Abby and the guardian through the thin walls. He hears a deep, irritated voice scolding the guardian for making a mistake. The following day at school, Owen sees students crowded around. News has spread that the murder victim was a former student of the school. That night, Abby returns to Owen. He lends her his Rubik's Cube. He notices her strange odor and asks if she's cold, walking barefoot in the snow. Abby says she never feels cold, no matter the weather. Later, Abby is seen crouching in a tunnel, visibly hungry and weak. A man approaches her, concerned by her appearance. Without warning, Abby attacks and feeds on the man. She's a vampire, driven by an unrelenting thirst for human blood. Owen once again overhears the guardian talking about needing to deal with the latest body. The next day, Owen is shocked to find his Rubik's Cube returned, completely solved. When Abby shows up again, she looks healthier. Her skin has color, her hair seems more lively, and her odd smell is gone. She tells Owen that she's 12 years old, the same age as him. Owen feels pity when he learns that Abby doesn't even know her birthday and has never received a present. So he gives her the Rubik's Cube as a gift. Abby, touched by the gesture, explains how she solved the puzzle. It's the beginning of a fragile but meaningful bond. At school, Owen continues to be bullied by Kenny.
Where is it? Say it!
But he still doesn't tell his mother. Instead, he shares more time with Abby, showing her a Morse code system he's created so they can communicate by tapping on the wall between their apartments. Abby eventually realizes that Owen has been listening through the wall for some time. Thankfully, he hasn't heard anything incriminating or strange. When she finds out about the bullying, she becomes protective. She tells Owen that if his tormentors don't stop, she will help him. Owen is uplifted by her support. He invites her to the store to buy candy, wanting to cheer her up. Abby agrees. Though it's clear she's doing it for Owen, she forces herself to eat one of the candies, only to vomit moments later. Still, Owen smiles and tells her he likes her. That night, the Guardian goes out again in search of a victim. Abby is concerned. She knows he's doing this for her. As before, he hides in the back seat of a car, but this time, the owner isn't alone. He has a friend riding with him. They stop for gas, and the Guardian is discovered. In a panic, he runs and is hit by a passing car. Knowing he's doomed and unwilling to be caught, he pours acid on his own face in a final act of desperation. He is rushed to the hospital, where he is placed under police watch. Abby finds out and goes there immediately. She tells hospital staff that she's his daughter and asks where he's being held. The nurse tells her, guarded on the 10th floor. Abby climbs the outside wall and sneaks into his hospital room. What she finds is heartbreaking. The Guardian is horribly disfigured, dying slowly, unable to speak. In one final moment of devotion, he offers his blood to Abby, his last act of service. The film now returns to the opening timeline. Abby visits Owen and tells him to keep his eyes closed so he won't see her in her monstrous state. Owen then asks her, "Will you be my girlfriend?" But Abby says she's not really a girl and refuses to explain further. She just wants their relationship to stay the way it is. The next morning, she is gone. Owen goes ice skating with Mr. Zorick, his gym teacher. As usual, Kenny and his friends try to harass him again. They plan to push him into an ice fishing hole, but this time Owen fights back. Suddenly, a scream pierces the air. Another student has found a body frozen beneath the ice. Owen and his mother are summoned for questioning, but thankfully, Owen is not blamed and is allowed to return to school. Back at home, a detective visits their apartment, questioning neighbors about the series of events. Owen learns one of their neighbors was killed. The detective knocks on Abby's door, but no one answers. At school, Owen is delighted to see Kenny being bullied by older students, his ear still injured from their last encounter. Owen tells Abby he finally stood up for himself. Abby is happy for him. Later, Owen invites her to a vacant apartment. He slices his palm, trying to make a blood pact, but the scent overwhelms Abby. She loses control and licks the blood. In that moment, Owen understands what Abby truly is. Frightened, Abby runs off to hunt someone else. Confused and scared, Owen calls his father and asks, "Can people become evil?" His father brushes it off, assuming it's something Owen's mother said. He tells Owen to have her call him and promises to visit. Later, Owen confronts Abby. She finally confesses. She's a vampire who has remained 12 years old for who knows how long. She tells him the Guardian wasn't her father. Owen leaves, heartbroken. Meanwhile, the police interview the husband of Abby's last victim. He says the attacker was a 12-year-old barefoot blonde girl. The detective suspects the girl and the older man were cult members. All the victims were drained of blood, bearing small bite marks. Suddenly, the woman who was bitten turns into a vampire. She bites herself, then bursts into flames when exposed to sunlight. While Owen's mother is away dealing with the divorce, Abby returns. They make peace, but when his mom comes home, Abby flees. The detective returns to her apartment. Inside, Owen is asleep. Abby is hiding in the bathroom. When no one answers, the detective breaks in. He searches room to room and finally opens the bathroom door. There he finds Abby, resting silently in a blood-filled tub. Later, Abby tells Owen she has to leave. Owen is devastated. He feels more alone than ever. Owen returns to his routine. One day during swimming practice, Kenny and his gang distract Mr. Zorik and clear the pool area. Kenny's older brother holds Owen underwater, telling him to last 3 minutes. As his breath runs out, Abby arrives, silent, deadly, and merciless. She saves Owen. Afterward, Owen runs away from home with a large trunk in tow. Inside the train, he gently taps on the trunk. A faint tapping responds from inside. Abby is with him, and with that, the film ends.
If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. Because by subscribing, you have supported me to make better videos. See you in the next video.